Hi, I'm Corinne Christensen, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. It's been a hot minute since we've been together, and I have to apologize about that. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the law of assumption. If you haven't heard, Neville Goddard was a very spiritual teacher who taught many of these lessons, and this one is the law of assumption. Neville, throughout his lifetime, he grew up in Barbados, and he found himself not in Barbados, and he found himself with a desire to go back to Barbados, but he had no money. His friend Abdul was a little more involved in the spiritual than Neville was, and so he gave him some advice. He told him to, every night before he went to bed, to imagine himself on the beaches of Barbados, laying in the beautiful sand, the warm sun caressing his body, being with friends and family, dancing, having many parties, and assuming the wish fulfilled. And that's exactly what it means. Whatever your goal in life is to actually embody how that would feel and how you would feel in that position. So Neville did this for about 5 days, every night before he went to sleep. And lo and behold, he got a letter in the mail, and it was from his brother. And the letter said, inside the letter, he got a ticket, and it was a train ticket to Barbados, along with some cash. And his brother said, "We've been thinking about you, and we really want to see you. And so here's a ticket, and come on down." And that was the beginning of Neville's journey with assuming the wish fulfilled. Just like us, as we're children, we, excuse me, we're outside and we're playing with our imaginary friends, and everything is imagination. We're seeing life through the eyes of a child, which is really how we're supposed to do it, right? And as we grow up, it's like everything's serious. We have to be working and on point and doing all these things. And if I asked you, like for an example, here's a little bouquet of flowers, right? You can see what they look like. Now, if I took it away and I said, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to see those flowers in the same detail I just showed them to you, could you do it? Most people, don't live in their imagination, and it takes, like any other muscle, it takes some work to be able to picture things in your mind that you want to achieve. And another example of this is Jim Carrey. Long before he starred in Dumb and Dumber, he would go up to the streets of LA, and he'd sit out of all these fancy mansions. And he said for hours he would sit in his car and he would just imagine what it would feel like if that mansion was his. If he was in the kitchen every morning and he was making his favorite kind of coffee, what did that coffee smell like? What was he doing? Was he grabbing the paper? Was he dancing around this beautiful mansion? Whatever the case is, he did this for hours and hours every day. He embodied that wish fulfilled, and he kept living from that moment. It's almost like, pretending you're an actor or you're stepping into some kind of role. Instead of like getting the outcome you want, you have to be the outcome you want. And so he did that for a long, long time. And then just before Dumb and Dumber, he had wrote himself a check. I think it was a few years before, actually. He wrote himself a check for $10 million. Made it out, Jim Carrey, 10 million, signed it, whatever. And he said he just carried that check around with him every single day because in his mind, he was going to be a $10 million, actor, right? And then just shortly after, he got the role for Dumb and Dumber, where he made exactly $10,000. So it's like whatever you're wanting to manifest, you have to basically step into that role and feel the feelings, right? Like if you had I would love to be able to do YouTube, get better at my speaking, all those kinds of things, and have a community of like-minded people that are into the same kinds of things as me, and basically, do meditations online, do Reiki online, do ceremonies online, all the kinds of things where a person can feel safe and you can feel like you're not being judged. You're around the same kind of people that are really open-minded and understand that, we're manifesting 24 hours a day. So if you're focused on doom and gloom and negativity and all the things you don't want in your life, you're definitely going to keep attracting more of that, you know, as evidence, right? And so when you really think of the things that you do want, you know, like I said, if you just needed an internet connection and you're going to be live wherever, everyone has a gift. Everyone has something that they can teach the world through just, you know, living their life, really, right? And just imagine what that would feel like. Just the freedom, the time freedom to be on a beach somewhere, or on a holiday, or outside, or camping, or like all the things that you love to do. And what would that feel like to you? And when you add the feeling, you get more of the manifestation power, right? And so Neville Goddard has many books. He also has they're still running a channel for him. He's no longer with us, but his teachings are just phenomenal. When he's like, every night, just assume that feeling. Like, what would it feel like to just be free? You're not on the hamster wheel working 9 to 5 every day for somebody else, but you're doing something that you're passionate about and you're helping people in the process, right? Another goal of mine is to have a community. I want a place where everyone can come and feel like they belong to something, and you know, there's no judgment. You can offer your insights, you can comment of things you'd like to discuss, chats, like I said, ceremonies, all kinds of things, but just basically embodying your truth, speaking your truth, and just kind of setting yourself free. Like, I know in the past, I have kind of kept some things hidden and always worried, you know, what are other people going to think, and are they going to judge me because this is different than how they live or what they do. And I just basically decided I don't care anymore. Like, I want to be, you know, our throat chakra's blocked when we don't speak our truth, right? I want to be my authentic self. And these are things that I don't know, I have little glimmers of things. I also believe in past life regression, all kinds of different things. And I feel like a lot of things that we're really drawn to are things that we've done. We've forgotten them, right? And so I just empower any of you women or men that would love to come together, form a community where we can talk about things that are maybe a bit different than other people's lives, but we can just feel safe and we can feel heard. And so if that interests you at all, please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you have a wonderful day.